Today I'm going to be making a raw cucumber and avocado soup. It's a very simple soup. It's a cold soup. You don't have to heat up any of the ingredients on the stove. It's very quick. It's really nice on a hot day to just sit down and have some of this cold soup. Very few ingredients really. What you really need in here is just some cucumber and avocado. I'm going to be using an entire cucumber and half of the avocado. You can certainly use 2 cucumbers and the whole avocado if you want to make more. This is more for just a couple of servings. And then also be adding some like half a lime to this. For garnish, I'm going to be adding some green onions, chopped up green onions to go on top, along with some hemp seeds. The hemp seeds are, like I said, are for a garnish. If you have some sitting around that you have bought because you thought they would be healthy and haven't found any ways to actually use them yet, this would be a good opportunity to put some of these to use. But make sure you smell them, put your nose into the bag, and make sure that the oil hasn't turned in there, and you'll be able to tell. This has kind of an off smell to it. And I'm also going to be adding some chopped pistachios because I just really like pistachios. You can use, when you cut up the ingredients, put them in the blender, you can use water. That make it very simple, but in this case I'm going to be using a mixture of coconut water along with some vegetable broth, and you can also add some salt and pepper to taste. And if you're interested in adding just a little bit of heat to it, a little bit of additional interest, you can add some ground cayenne pepper, and I'll be doing that today. So to start with, simply start with your cucumber, and you want to use the whole cucumber. The skin itself has got some fiber in it. It also has a vitamin K. It has different types of fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber. So it's good to have. I think it's like 5 times the amount of potassium in the cucumber if you use the whole cucumber, including the skin. You put it into the blender and not too much of it onto the floor. And cut up take half the avocado, and there's obviously a pit in the middle of this. So we just simply open that, and you can take this half and scoop out the avocado. And there's that. The recipe also calls, as I said, for about half of a lime, so squeeze half a lime into the blender. And I am really partial to lime. I just really like it in all types of things. And I'm going to make, the recipe actually kind of calls for about half of a cup of liquid or water, but I find that's not enough. It's too thick for me, and so I'd like to add about 3/4 of a cup, which in this case, as I said, will be a mixture of coconut oil and the vegetable broth, just to give it some real interest. And so we're getting close to getting done for this part of it, the blending it. You also want to add some salt to taste, and whatever that is for you. That's maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and grind in some fresh pepper. And I'm going to add I think it calls for about maybe about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So let me just take some of that and sprinkle that in. Put the lid on and turn on the blender. So that's been working for about half a minute to to blend that up. Now let's just take a little, pour out a little bit here into the bowl. Let's give that a quick taste. Ah, that's good. That's good. So now, oh, I like that red pepper. That adds a nice little bite to it that's just really nice. So now we're going to take the green onions and just kind of chop up some of those to use as a garnish on the top. And we can take some of the hemp seeds and sprinkle them across. Put however much you want in it. And the last piece here is going to be the pistachios, because I really like pistachios. Sometimes with chopping peanuts or pistachios, they have a tendency to want to take off on you, so kind of have to protect them as you cut them so they don't end up on the floor or across the table. Okay, so that should be enough. And there we have it. It's a very simple recipe. Take a little bit of all this together. That is really, really good.